Is it a snake? Is it a dragon? It doesn't matter. It's Dragon Wars on Bad Movies Rule, the worst movie podcast ever created. And today we're diving into a war 5,000 years in the making. Let's go. What's up, guys?
I think if they would have gone one more cycle deep.
Wait, what?
I think if they'd have gone one more cycle deep, it'd have been 500 years later and we wouldn't have to deal with it.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Welcome in, everybody. We're talking about the 2007 movie Dragon Wars. Funny enough, at the time, the most anticipated Korean film release ever. And I don't know if it's the most anticipated BMR release ever, but it's one that we're certainly
I will answer that with no.
We're doing it anyway. So welcome in. Clint, how are you, sir?
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome. So glad you could be here, man.
Yeah.
In the midst of a track
On time.
rebuild. Yeah, totally on time.
Totally not 5 minutes late.
The intro, you just got to be in by the time I say, "Hey, Clint, what's up?" So
we're good.
You're on time, baby.
Yeah,
here, man.
I was 47 seconds early then.
It's all good. Kurt Mummer's in the house.
Hey,
what's up, dude?
how you doing? I'm glad to be here for this one.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad you're here. I know how much you love snake fighting.
Oh, yeah. I'm totally in the snake fights.
It's true.
A lot of money's been spent.
I've seen him.
And for the first time since The Fog,
Yeah,
Jenna Hauser is back. What's up?
not much. I'm not so excited to be here for this one.
I feel like I thought I was setting you up to have a better experience than The Fog. You think this is worse than that?
yeah, I think.
Oh,
it's
gosh, The Fog was terrible.
The fog was pretty bad. That's
that says
wow.
something. Then.
Yeah, it does say something.
Well, I think if you'd have done 40% of the movie since The Fog, your perspective would have been lowered so hard that this wouldn't feel so bad.
That's true.
Yeah,
it's just because you're just skimming along the top right now.
Yeah, on the second and third ones I did, I was like, oh, what the hell? I get it. Now, granted, that was episode 3 and 4.
It's true.
Yeah.
Well, look, for those of you who don't know, we're going to go through the movie. We're going to give you all the vitals. We'll go through scene by scene, and we'll tell you everything that happens through this movie. We're going to roast in this case, sometimes we praise it, but I don't anticipate a lot of that here with this one. And then we're going to give out some awards. Who deserves the awards?
This is going to be a quick one, I think.
Yeah, I don't see this being a super long.
Nope.
I mean, we can just get to awards now. There was a thing. It happened in Korea, and then a whole lot later, it happened in America, and then it still almost went terrible, and then it's over.
Yeah, that's pretty much, that's it, guys. All right, we'll catch you on the next one.
Dragons and snakes.
Honestly, I think that the listeners would be okay with that.
I think so. So let's get this.
You can choose to log out now.
Yeah, save you a lot of time.
Yeah. The movie was directed by Hyun-rae Shim and written by Hyun-rae Shim.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Different guy.
Two different guys.
No relation.
It might be. It might be. All right. Movie star Jason Behr, Amanda Brooks, and oddly enough, Robert Forster was in this movie. First time we've had Forster in since, well, he did Me, Myself, and Irene.
Oh, yeah. That's what
he was the captain.
I'm watching and I'm going, man, that guy looks familiar. I can't figure out what he's from.
And he played an Arab in the first Delta Force movie.
Yes,
he was the
very convincingly
bad guy. So our third movie with Robert Forster. This thing had a budget of $32 million.
What?
It was. I bet you 27 million of that was spent in a computer chair.
I think it was spent in a little swivelly chair.
Yeah.
with little clickies. The box office was only $10 million in the USA, but worldwide it made $75 million.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, it's a South
because there's lore that matters more to them than us.
Maybe it's a South Korean made and financed. It wasn't a Hollywood film, so they made this in South Korea. That's why I said it was the biggest, the most anticipated release of a South Korean film ever at the time. And they released it in the States, similar to like how Godzilla -1 just came out recently. Didn't do great over here. Shocker. But worldwide, did pretty good.
After watching the movie, I understand why.
Yeah. 3.5 on IMDb. which right now makes it the 7th lowest we've ever had, right between Iron Eagle 4 and Megaforce.
That in itself is surprising.
Yeah.
Both of those a better watch. Pick one of those two.
Either of them, right?
Watch both of those instead of this.
Here's where you're really going to laugh. This got a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes from the critics. So a whole third of critics gave this a good review.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is insane. And a 19% audience score. So 1 out of 5 liked it on the audience side of things. So
Now, while I may not think that this is the most amazing thing we've ever seen, but I'd be happy to have been part of it. There's some movies that did better than that. Critics and everything. I was like, I wouldn't want my name anywhere near on that thing.
No, I wouldn't mind being in here riding on the back of a pterodactyl or something.
Yeah,
you know,
that'd
just
be
been like
pretty
be awesome. Be a soldier.
Let me be one of the guys who gets
Yeah,
killed.
get stomped by a brontosaurus. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Awesome. Is this a dinosaur movie?
I don't know.
You
Seems
can't
like it's in the first 20 minutes.
You can't tell. That's why I started by saying, is it a snake? Is it a dragon? It doesn't matter. We don't know what anything is in this movie the entire time.
I mean, you got samurais versus dark knights or black knights or whatever you want to call
The
them.
main bad guy in the army looks like the medieval evil version of like Deadshot, right? Like that's
Yeah.
kind of the costuming that they
Yeah,
did
no.
there, for sure.
That's a great point.
So thank you guys for listening. I mean, you're diehards. If you're tuning in to BMR for Dragon Wars, just thank you for being here. Thank you for being what I'm assuming is a longtime fan of the show. But even if it is your first time, welcome. If you want to get in touch with us, the ways you can do that is you can email the show at thisshowIstrash@gmail.com, and we will answer your emails on our mailbag segments, or you can leave a voicemail, which is 262-757-8567. We can get back to you that way as well. If you'd like to be part of the foundation here at BMR and have a little bit more content, we have our Patreon. It's patreon.com/badmoviesrule, and all that is down in the show notes, the link to everything. We've got other shows that we produce about cartoons, about good movies, about horror films, all that stuff. All those other bonus podcasts are available on there. We thank you for backing the show. And right here, before we get to the plot, it's time to pay the bills. All right. You guys ready to dive in here for Dragon Wars?
Yeah, now, was this pronounced wrong? Is it Dragon Wars or is it Drag On Wars?
Oh my god. Okay.
He gets, I don't know if that deserves the point because that's a legitimate damn question now.
Oh, it is. It is. The subtitling of it is weird. Sometimes it's just D Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, D War Dragon War.
So I don't know if it's supposed to be Dwars Dragon Wars. Or like Gwar, like the rock band.
Yeah,
you know?
like maybe they had their own like name back then,
I
and
don't
then
know.
it got a subtitle when it came here to America.
It's like Hyung Rae Shim was like, all right, I want to call this D Wars, and the studio's like, no, you can't. Like,
You can't
no
do
one's
a
gonna
D
know.
Wars movie about snake
What does
fighting.
the D stand for?
No,
Yeah.
can't
No one
do it.
knows. They're like,
D Wars about snake fighting.
he turned it in. He probably didn't even know about the subtitle until he sat at the premiere, and it came up D Wars. He's like, yes, and then it went Dragon Wars. And he's like, those sons of I told him not to do that. I can only imagine that's what happened. All right, let's get to this stupid prologue. They have the opening because there's so much gobbledygook to explain in this movie. They have to just go. Every 500 years, a woman with a spirit power is born, and she has the power of the good dragon that can protect the universe. There's also one that can destroy the world.
Yeah, there's a bad dragon.
Everybody got that?
Okay?
Yeah. Good is good enough for the universe. Bad is only bad for the world.
Yes.
Universe will go on. Everything's cool. Just F this world.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yes, exactly. Thank you for that clarification, because I thought
I
at the time
was trying to figure that out the whole movie. I appreciate it. I wish I would have watched this with you, Clint.
Yes.
Does each world have an evil snake? Or it's
That
like
turns into a good dragon.
like, is there an evil Mars snake that's really bored because nothing's there? Right?
Like,
on
man,
every planet.
it's been 5,000 years and not one woman has been born here. Come on, Elon, let's go.
Oh my gosh. All right. So the movie starts. There's a big disaster in LA. There's like a big scene. They're all cleaning up. Looked like something came up from underground.
Yes.
And discount, great value Tom Cruise shows up.
There was a lot of that in this movie.
Yeah. He's a reporter. and he wants to get the scoop on what happened here. And they're like, yeah, no press here, no press here. But he stays with
a camcorder that zooms in really close.
I was thinking the great value Uncle Jesse, but yeah, you can go with that. I was instead of Tom
and in a way, Uncle Jesse is great value Tom Cruise. And so
Right,
this is
and
like
this is-
Wish.com Uncle
Remember
Jesse.
when Multiplicity, you make a clone of yourself and it's maybe not as good at everything.
Yes.
But then like if they make a clone of themselves, it's not good at anything. Like
This
so
is
there
the
you go.
fourth Michael Keaton
Right.
of Tom Cruise.
Right.
The one that was like drooling and
Right, exactly.
eating paste and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
We didn't bend that well. We pretty much broke it off.
He sees a scale in this camcorder and he goes back to the newspaper building wherever he works, and he has a flashback that lasts a third of the movie.
Yes, almost the longest flashback I've ever seen in my life.
It's a solid
forever.
20-minute flashback.
I'm just going to try and get through this. And stop me anytime you have
A question?
something to make fun of.
Oh, sure.
Or a question.
Pretty much
That's
bottom
fine.
of the page, James. Go ahead.
Yeah, here we go. There's a little kid in Robert Forrester's shop who's dressed like an Asian person, by the way. Kid is there with his dad. He goes over by this crate that has the scale on it that he's flashing back and remembering to. It starts to like vibrate, and then the whole thing pops open, and all this light pours out all throughout the room.
Yes.
So then Robert Forrester's character fakes a heart attack.
Yep.
To get rid
He's
of
having
the
a
dad,
grabber.
right?
Yep.
And the dad just leaves his son there.
Yeah, here's $1,000.
Watch this guy die.
Watch this guy die.
I'll give you $1,000 for this knife if you leave your kid here.
That's right.
That
Yeah.
was the best way to fake a heart attack. Like he was just holding this and then just talking to the guy completely normally.
Yes, right,
Just holding
exactly.
his heart, just like
I am having a heart
I'm
attack
having
right
a heart
now.
attack. Go find this guy.
That's actually what I just did. I didn't tell him where I was going. I was like, and I walked out. That was it. I was like,
That's it.
I'm going.
I got you. Once the dad leaves, he goes, "I've been waiting for you, child."
And that's creepy. Sure.
Yeah. He gives the most insane backstory of all time about Emugis and the Chosen One, and then the Heaven Warriors that were sent to protect the Chosen One.
Now, this is a flashback within a flashback, too, mind you.
It is, because they're still in a flashback because
Right.
he's a kid in this shop.
Right.
Right.
And so Robert Forster's saying, okay, they're these snake dragons. They're called Emugis. They're not dragons yet. They're snakes, but they could become dragons.
Yes.
Right.
And
Only if they eat the girl.
right.
Yeah.
If they merge with the girl somehow.
Yeah.
And so there's good Emugis.
With the special dragon tattoo. That's a birthmark.
The girl with
Right.
the dragon tattoo?
Yes.
Another movie we should watch instead.
The Heaven Warriors were sent to protect her, and the mom dies as the baby shoots out, essentially as the girl shuts out. It cuts back to the kid who, I'm no joke, is like, what the hell are you talking about?
That's the words. Yeah. Maybe not the inflection, but that's the
Right.
words.
Back to the flashback. In the flashback, the baby grows up, the dragon girl or whatever, falls in love with one of the heaven protectors that was sent,
Yes.
Carl or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And the protector, Carl, also has a friend who's like, if Gandalf was a ninja,
Yes.
Kinda?
Yeah.
Right.
The
Teaching him.
long white bearded man who is like laying down and laying waste to some of
Right.
the bad guys in the flashback within a flashback.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so he tells him, you have to make sure your girl merges with the good Imugi. I can't believe I'm saying these words. On her 20th birthday, or there's going to be all kinds of BS you're not even going to believe.
Yeah, you don't want none of this.
You don't want none of that. All right.
But then he goes and messes up and
Yeah.
they fall in love.
They fall in love.
Yeah.
And so he doesn't want her to merge with the good Imugi.
Yeah.
So
And that's Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon?
Yu-Gi-Oh,
Is that
Pokemon, yeah.
they fall in
That's what
love?
it
Yeah.
yeah, he's like, I got to make sure she he's like, damn, we haven't even kissed yet. Like, that's a rip.
Dude, I need like another week here.
Like, and he gets this medallion because he's the protector, right? Then the Clone Wars from Star Wars start up.
Yes.
Essentially. That's what it looked like
With
to me.
dinosaurs and all sorts of beasts.
Here is the ridiculous selfishness of this right now.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, she sacrifices herself. World's protected. Universe is protected. If we don't let this happen, right?
Yeah.
At minimum, our village, everybody dead.
Yeah.
Minimum. Maximum, whole world gone.
Yeah.
Nah, I think I want to live.
Yeah, I think
let me
that's
go
kinda
ahead and
what
live.
happened.
That's cool. We good.
Yeah, because this evil army of dinosaurs and evil
Knights.
night warriors are now marching on the village. And these things, the dinosaurs have backpacks that fire straight up artillery.
Yeah, it's like missiles.
These things were firing in straight up ordnance, like legitimate. These are not cannons firing in. No, yep.
Meanwhile,
guided missiles.
the samurais have cannons and catapults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the soldiers come in growling like animals and stuff.
Yeah, the whole thing
they're
is
like
just,
orcs.
It's a
taking out
very
people.
interesting mix.
And they just waste everybody and snatch up the girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I just kept thinking when the guy came in, I was just, for whatever reason, Beauty and the Beast kept popping into my head. Show me the girl. You know, like right. I laughed so hard. I was like, oh man, this would have been so much more a better movie to watch right now.
Right. And then boyfriend, protector, and Gandalf ninja roll up and clap the whole army.
Yes.
And snatch the girl right back.
Gandalf ninja does. Boyfriend dude's like, come on, I need a couple more minutes here. So he's like, I'm with the girl.
Trying to seal the deal.
Take it off with her, right. Yeah. Ultimately, he defies her destiny as the evil snake is coming at them, and they both die and choose to die together instead of fulfilling what they're supposed to do.
She inevitably died anyway, so it would have been easier if she just like gave herself up.
Right.
Just merge with the good. Yeah.
Fortunately, she didn't get eaten by the bad one, so she didn't merge with the bad one. But legitimately, they didn't even tell her.
No.
She didn't know any of this was the thing in the advance, right?
I don't think
so. There was
so.
no information saying that this was it, because it wasn't until he rescued her and they went underneath the waterfall into the special place where they were supposed to meet and merge with the dragon. And he's like, but wait, hold on. Here's the thing. We're not going to be together. I know that's why you think we're here. You know, I mean, that's not what's happening right now. You got to get sacrificed. That's when she finds out immediately. Wouldn't you think that in this ancient Korean town and stuff like that, maybe if she knew the choices, even if she believed it or not, but you know, if she knew the choices in front of her, is like, your dad's going to get killed, your mom's going to get killed. The whole town gone, wiped off the planet, minimum, if you don't do this.
You think
this whole thing, gone, done, easy.
Yeah.
Instead,
easy
they end up
answer
just
there.
kicking the can down the road for another 500 years.
Right.
Because that's what another 500 years, they'll both be reborn in other bodies in America, I guess.
Apparently, LA,
In LA, both of them.
yeah,
Convenient.
Yep.
And
all
that's
three
it.
really.
So
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the Gandalf ninja becomes...
Jack.
that's what happens next. So they cut back. Now we're still in the flashback, but we're back to the first flashback when the reporter guy's a child. And Robert Forster's like, so check this. I'm Gandalf ninja.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Right.
I'm Gandalf.
And you're the other guy. And we got to make sure the girl merges this time. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's about that time.
But he's telling the kid this, though, right?
Yeah.
And the kid's just like, okay. I mean, you're basically talking to, what,
So
a
this
10, 11-year-old boy?
10-year-old kid knows now.
And he gives him the medallion as a 9-year-old or whatever, right? Because he's the rebirthed person of boyfriend protector, Ethan.
Right. That's their actual credited names.
Yes.
I do love when they do the dissolve from his eyes, the kid's eyes to his eyes.
Yes.
And then he's holding the medallion like,
In his office.
yes, and you're back from the flashback.
You wear it that whole time.
The whole time.
Like all those years,
For
he just
two-
had this
for 12 years.
medallion.
And
Yeah.
so his suntans were always, there was just this, white patch of skin right
He's
there.
always rinsing it off because, he's taking a shower with it.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Back in present day, reporter boy Ethan tells Daryl from the office, who is his buddy that sits, Craig Robinson sits in the desk right outside there.
Yeah.
That he
Hey,
needs
baby,
to find, this is all the information he gives him. Hey, we need to track down this person. Her name is Sarah and she's 19 and she
Got
has a tattoo.
Yeah, she's got a tattoo.
And he's like, oh,
the
yeah,
shoulder.
because every girl in L.A. isn't
Right.
named Sarah and has tattoos.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's it. And he's just like, just look it up, dude. Like, what do we pay you for here?
They
Find
get
this
it
girl.
wound down to 2,700 possibilities.
They
That's pretty
do.
good.
That's not bad. We do see Sarah for the first time in a gym. She's there working out with her friend, and she's watching the news report where Ethan is, and her friend's like, "Oh, look at Ethan. He's so hot. He's almost like your reborn boyfriend or something." What'd you say? What? Never mind. It's
It's just a little joke I tell.
a little joke. And as soon as she sees the scale herself in the news report, she books it home.
She's like, oh, I seen that.
Yeah. And starts to go crazy and pin up like these Korean symbols all over her apartment, right?
Yeah, I gotta go. I got things I gotta do.
Yeah.
I gotta get back to my house and put post-it notes of Japanese symbols everywhere in my house.
Right. And we also see that the evil knight, the evil Deadshot guy, he looks different now in the future. He's just got a black like samurai robe and he just looks like an old dude with white hair, is also now back. And he shows up outside of Gandalf's shop and just phases through the door And the only time I legitimately laughed in the entire movie,
Yeah, same.
this old lady just tries to do it herself and just eats the grate.
Just amazing.
Yeah. She didn't even see it coming.
No,
There's
man.
like a solid like 5 seconds where she's just like standing
What
there.
the-
Well, and she turns like to see if anyone's watching her.
No,
You know?
yeah.
Just
just biffs right into it.
Yeah. Does
I
anybody
hope-
see that?
I can only hope that during the filming of all this and everything like that, she was so bored with the extras part that she got. She's like, I'm gonna get in this damn. He's just like,
Not scripted.
I got this.
I love that. That would be even better if that was the case. So Sarah's friend goes and sees she's in Cuckoo Land at her house and
Yes.
wants her to go out with her because she's currently going insane with these Korean symbols all over the walls. And she does go out with her, but she bails before they even have one drink.
Right.
Well, I love her excuse was like, you need rest, so let's
Yeah.
get drunk.
And go out
Yeah.
to a bar.
You need rest, but let's go out. That makes sense.
A lot of sense. She dips out into the alleyway and is assaulted by 3 guys because this is a
This
movie.
is completely random.
Right.
Has nothing to do with the plot other than to introduce Awesome.
No. And so we get Robert Forster shows up and karates all of them and then walks away in the most nonchalant manner ever,
Yep.
right?
He just
Like
shows
he was
up and he,
taking out
Just
the garbage.
happened for
And
like,
he, like,
no reason. Like, how did that benefit?
Right.
he like force tosses him just
Right.
to the like garbage heap.
Right. And he doesn't interact with her anyway or
Nope.
show like so what point was this other than to say I guess he's keeping
Saving
an eye on her?
Yeah. I think that's really the only point that I took out of this.
At this point, I have a question. Initially, that guy was the powerhouse. He tore up, did the work. Why did we need boyfriend wizard guy?
Yeah, I don't
at
know.
all. Like that was the problem in the first 500 years. It's the problem in the second 500. This guy can protect her and make sure she gets to where she needs to be. He's proven this. He can make himself look like whoever he needs to be in a position to
Yeah.
move the chess pieces, so to speak.
So then
however
why
he
need the
needs.
boyfriend and
Why
why
need-
need the medallion?
Yeah, the
Right.
boyfriend doesn't even need to exist and potentially cause this problem.
Right.
Yeah, and from this point on, Robert Forster's not in the movie very much after he gives the opening backstory because it's pretty much just every 4 or 5 scenes he'll just randomly pop up and transform like,
As a
oh,
thing.
Just a
that
random
person,
character.
that
No
person you thought was that person is actually Gandalf Ninja.
Right.
And then he goes away. And so he never has more than, I think, 30 seconds on screen.
Right, even the stuff he's doing, it's as a different character, so somebody
Right.
else is acting it.
Right, exactly. So he's not barely in the movie anymore after this point. We cut to the zoo, and a giant evil snake tries to eat an elephant and throws it next to the guy from Mike and Molly.
Mike and Molly, yes, exactly.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a famous guy?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was Wish Kevin James
No.
Sure, well, it
from
is.
Zookeeper.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. No, that's an actual guy that's in us. He's actually lost a bunch of weight now.
Yeah, he's pretty awesome and
Yeah.
pretty much everything I've seen him. He's funny.
But we now see that the evil snake is back from 500 years before, and he's chomping on an elephant, and it literally lands right next to this guy, right next to Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's bleeding, and the Mike is just freaking out because there's this. I mean, the thing is humongous.
He was just about to watch some TV or something like that,
Right.
and all of a sudden he hears this elephant making all this noise, comes outside, he's like, they can figure out how to beam a satellite into space and bring me TV and blah, 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 but they can't keep elephants quiet or something like that.
Something. And this thing's like the size of a building. The snake is, and obviously it's eating
Yeah,
an
huge.
elephant, so that's how huge. Just to give you an idea of some scale there.
Scale, he gets one.
Oh, do I get one? Thanks. Sarah is getting interrogated at the police station because of these 3 guys. Like now, they think she beat up these 3 guys, and the plot machine grinds so hard in this scene to let a reporter into the police station just to get a picture of her, just so he can turn around and go back to the reporter building and
Right.
go, hey, my fellow reporters that also work here, you'll never believe I just ran into this girl named Sarah who's 19 with a dragon tattoo. And she was beating up these 3 guys. What a scoop.
All of a sudden, they're football,
Scoop.
all of a sudden they're football players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 football players. They were rapists.
But it's like, come on, man. Like, why is it going to have a random reporter busting in the middle of a police station to take a snapshot at a cop's desk
Right.
of a girl just so you can let Ethan know who Sarah is because he's looking for her?
Right.
Well, and why not make Ethan the reporter if you're going to do
Yeah.
that? I mean, why
Right.
wasn't he there reporting on
This
it?
is-
Hey, I want you to go get a picture of this girl. She beat up 3 people.
This
Yeah.
is just another, people getting information oddly through the news.
Yeah. No, you're right. This is true. This is true. Sarah goes home and she has a bad dream and calls 911 and gets sent to the hospital.
Because I often call 911 with bad dreams.
Right.
You've had a bad dream. You're like,
Well, she
please
has.
help.
She,
I had
yeah,
a
she ends
terrible
up
dream.
having her own grabber.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. Oh,
So her chest all lights up yellow, and
Because of her- yeah.
and then I think I'm gonna die. So she calls the police or an ambulance or whatever. Yeah,
right. Because her tattoo was glowing or whatever.
yeah.
Dragon shows up at Sarah's house, but only finds her friends and eats them by the pool.
Yep.
Right?
Well, it was getting a drink.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
thirsty.
This is drinking the chlorine water.
Yeah.
And her friend straight up just gets chomped in half.
Oh yeah.
It was awesome. But here's my problem. Because the zoo thing, zoos can be desolate, especially at night. This is the middle of a neighborhood.
Yep.
Nobody notices
A
this
giant snake?
Like, it
Size
just,
of a building.
You can
Yes.
see the beginning news story where they introduce everybody.
yeah.
Is these snake tracks are massive and nobody knows. You know,
No.
there's one Native American guy saying, "This ain't your land anymore." You know,
Yeah, we're
all your
going,
pretty
we're gonna
things,
die,
end
right.
of times. But like, legitimately, nobody saw this thing. This is a city.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just its head is in the pool. Where's
Yeah.
the rest of that,
Right.
150 feet of length in somebody else's driveway and house, right? I mean, the houses are on next to each
Bob's
other.
going out
later-
to go get some drinks that night, and he's like, "What the heck is this?"
We see later the thing is completely willing, just driving over a house or just rolling
Yeah.
over a house and destroying it
Or
to
whatever.
nothing.
And it's just like not a dog is barking, not
Right.
like nothing is happening in this neighborhood while he chomps up Sarah's friends. Okay. Back at the hospital, Sarah gets up from her hospital bed. They admitted her for bad dreams, I guess, and can't get out of her room because she's locked in and there's a police guard.
This is sweet because you're in a psych ward on a psych hold, so they just lock you in with no attendant, no somebody to come and see there. You're not attached to the bed. You're in a room, but like, go ahead and go nuts in here. That's fine. Do whatever.
Yeah.
You have no idea you're in here because you came in unconscious, but
Right.
you know,
They
You're
just
good.
decided she was crazy. Like she
she
didn't say
got to be
anything.
crazy.
And why is there a
Glowing
cop?
tattoo? Come on.
Right. So now she has to be in a psych ward because she thought her shoulder was glowing.
Right.
Like it's,
With a police at her door.
yeah.
Okay.
One might say that she was hysterical.
We find out later that she's quarantined because of a possible infection. Like her tattoo.
But still, nobody would tell her
that.
that's
Right.
why she's stuck in this room. There's
No one.
zero. Yeah.
Also, they have the zoo guy, Mike, in a straitjacket because of his elephant snake story.
Yeah.
Listen, you tell us there was no snake eating an elephant, and
Yeah.
you know you can go free. It's like, oh, haha, yeah, I was mistaken.
Why do they have him in a straitjacket? And why are they like? Remember
In
what
a
you
therapist office.
in a therapist office? But do you remember what you said when we were watching it?
No.
Jenna just goes, "Wouldn't they have the elephant?" Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Like
No,
with
because
the
it probably
bite
got
marks.
ate.
with the bike. Well,
I'm
but
assuming
the
it-
snake took off. Remember?
Yeah.
After he dropped the
No,
elephant.
he took off. No, Mike took off. I'm
right.
pretty sure that the snake finished eating.
So then either there's some an elephant leg or a big
Right.
blood trail
Well,
or there's
the
something
elephant's
there.
still gone.
Elephants or an escaped
He's-
elephant.
Yeah. Which
There's
they have
something.
no
Well,
evidence.
you know, Mike blows through the fence. It looks like an elephant.
There's
He just escaped.
I'm
He's
saying,
not gone.
there's evidence of some kind.
absolutely.
That there's been shenanigans with elephants. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
about
and
that.
he's the only zookeeper that's on
Right.
payroll at that time.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And again, this zoo in 2007, 0 cameras.
None. None at all.
Nope.
Nobody caught the snake on a ring bell, like doorbell or something, because they didn't have those in 2007. I
No.
guess. All right. Ethan shows up at the hospital to see Sarah. He's like, well, she's quarantined. But yeah, totally go ahead and go in and see her. That's fine.
That was Gandalf Ninja.
Right. But everyone else at the hospital just
Yeah.
seemed fine with him going in there and talking. Like they walked past 70
well, he
people.
was. But that's the thing. He was a doctor.
Right.
Obviously. It's
look
okay
at
now.
my stethoscope.
See?
Well,
Yes.
the front desk lady was like, "You can't go in, you can't go in," and then he went in. Like,
Right. The front desk lady who was played by the girl from Parks and Rec.
Yes.
Yeah. That was another nice little cameo in there.
Still didn't save the movie.
He starts to talk to her. He starts to talk to her in her quarantine room and trying to unpack what's going on. The snake, meanwhile, the giant snake showed up and is coiling around the top of this hospital, and no one notices for
No damage.
way too long.
Apparently, the building isn't moving at all.
No.
Now Mike is about to get let go because he's like, oh, yeah, if I can go home, then yeah, there was no snake. Forget it.
Yeah.
Snake is right outside the window behind the therapist, right over her shoulder, looking at him and everything. He's like, I hate to tell you, but the snake is right behind you. Turn around. Snake's gone. Lock him up. Forget it. Tie it back up.
But 4 minutes later, it's blasting through the hospital building.
Yep.
People and gurneys and medical equipment flying all over the place. Snake starts to tear through the hospital and ends up chasing Ethan and Sarah through the underground parking garage. Mm-hmm. Right? Where they discover the snake's weakness. Running in a straight line.
Yes.
Well, snakes do have that problem. Serpentine.
Well, they can't really run. Yeah.
Evil night guy shows up and starts pulling them because they get in a car.
Yes.
Starts pulling them out, and this guy's superpower is getting hit by cars.
He attracts them.
Yeah.
It's like Magneto.
How many times did he get? I think like three times in the movie. Was it two?
Yeah.
He has a special laser sword or whatever. He has a shield, all this stuff.
Oh,
and then
man.
he just gets hit by cars.
Yeah, he's got a sword hilt that doesn't have a blade unless he commands it.
Unless he.
Yeah.
Well, and what's
somebody
great
else does.
is every time they showed that, it was almost like Star Wars.
Yes.
It was like, here's my hilt. And then it would, glow and extend.
Yeah.
But the best part is they would always get a close-up of it every time it came out of the hilt.
They were proud of that
Every single
time.
artwork. Like, this
Exactly.
was $3 million, guys.
And not only was that the only repeat, but the constant snake chases.
Yeah.
We're
All
in a
the same.
car.
Yep.
We're leaving.
Yeah.
Snake's back chasing us. We're
right.
back in a car.
Every time.
Every time.
Right up to this point is the good part of the movie, right? We just did what?
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
We just did Raiders of the Lost Ark
On Good Movies Rule for our
on
Patreon.
GMR for Patreon.
Yeah.
And we came in here and I was like, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark a little overrated. James asked me, did you watch this? Or maybe I asked you if you watched it, and he's like, yeah, oh my God, what a steaming turd. And I'm talking to him, I was like, I think it's okay. I don't think it's as bad as it's supposed to be. I had only seen till here.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
And then literally, I went home Friday night after racing. It's late. And we sit down, and Kelly's like, oh, yeah, let's put something on.
Yeah.
So we put it on, and we started watching it from the beginning again. And we get all the way through that. She's like, yeah, this one isn't really all that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. And then literally from here to the rest of it, it's like obnoxious, annoying, and loud.
Yeah.
And the same noises, the same shots, just different stuff getting destroyed that doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
And then it's over finally.
It
It's like,
literally,
my God.
I'm not making this up. It was making me nauseous.
Yes,
the
the
movie
last part
was
is
starting to give me an upset stomach during
Yes.
the last 20 minutes. I was starting to get nauseous watching it.
Yeah.
And a movie that's so bad it can literally make you not feel well is another level of achievement to me. How did you start to feel sick watching it?
No, I definitely did. I don't really like movies where it's just action 24/7, and that's kind of what this movie.
Do you remember
was, so.
the first Transformers?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a couple of shots and fights where it's like all transformery and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
And like the fourth I don't know which one it was. There's like the 53rd Transformers that came out. The whole movie was that. It's like, ugh,
Right.
this is so hard to watch.
Can't do it, man. Sarah and Ethan
Transformery.
eventually end up at the beach, and they're like, let's make out here until we calm down. That'll help. And it's just like,
That's how I do it.
we cut into a government meeting. A government meeting where I can't I'll figure out the guy's name at the end, but it's escaped me. But the dude he was the IT guy from Ghost in the Machine, and then he also was
Was he the president?
No, he was the other, like the head FBI guy that went out looking for them.
Oh, yeah.
and
I know
then-
who you're talking about now.
He also was the dad in Runaway that was like, no cameras, no pictures, and ran away and all that stuff.
So he's making a repeat here.
Fun to see him every
It's a
time he
three-peat,
shows up in
actually.
one of these movies.
Three-peat.
But they have a government meeting, picture like a conference room in a government building, right? And they're like, hey, based on these scales, we think this is foreign.
You don't
From
say.
South Korea.
Wow.
They're like, it's a legend, sir. We're looking into it. And of course, the Secretary of Defense or whatever is like, legend? What kind of BS is this? Nonsense. They ultimately know everything about the plot that they need to know, like that.
Yeah, somehow.
They know about the girl. Somehow they know they have to find her. They know. I mean, just they read it out of a comic book or something. They been researching the legend of the dragon somehow.
Yeah, the math doesn't add up.
They just know that the girl has to be the like think they have to stop.
They want to kill her, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we got to look. There's this girl. We're pretty sure it's Sarah. Like we
got
just
a
know
tattoo.
exactly who it is. We have to take her out before this destroys everything. So they're literally going to find her and kill her just to kick the can another 500 years.
And I don't think
Right.
Sarah yet knows that this is what she needs to do, that she needs to sacrifice herself to make all this stop.
Ethan is now in the midst of telling her,
Yeah.
I'm sure, as they're making out on the beach. When they're like, all right, let's go, ready, break, like the government guys are going to go, they come flying out of that conference room. One guy comes out with a shotgun
Yeah.
out
Yes.
of the conference room.
Just had
That's
it.
where they have them.
That's all I
Just
can.
dude was just sitting in that meeting with a racked
so rude.
shotgun.
It was just under the table. I can't wait. I can't wait. The snake's dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That dude come flying out of there like up in the like that was my favorite
Yeah.
part.
It's like, this is my boomstick.
Like, dude didn't even wait to the load up scene. He's like, I already got it
Yeah.
in my suit, stuffed down the front of my
He
pants.
he just right bumpered twice. Shotgun.
The government strike team goes into this cave because they know exactly where the snake is.
Yeah.
Like, fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Here it
If
is.
you knew where it was,
There was a sign that said snake. It was right outside the
if you
door.
knew where it was, blow it up. What are we doing? They go in, they light the snake up. Snake just decimates the whole team.
Yeah.
The few that survive run out to find out that the evil army has rose again. All the evil knights and stuff are out there. They all get wiped out, and their operation, all it does is really piss off the snake and the army.
Disappointingly, no rocket launcher Stegosauruses this time.
No, that's true. That's true. I have, and this is another just because it's a bad movie and they cut to places that it doesn't make any sense. I don't know any idea how they got here or knew this guy, but out of nowhere, Ethan and Sarah are at some brain doctor's house getting scanned like it's Minority Report. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they got like the things on the girl's head, and she goes full exorcist, right? Just rising
Right.
up off
Some random house.
some random house, some random dude. I mean, who is this guy?
Not only was he a brilliant brain doctor, but in his house he brings home his work.
Right. How did they know who he was or get to? I don't
Yeah.
know.
I'm a reporter. I know this guy.
No,
He's
this brain
nuts.
doctor. He's awesome. We did a story on him one time. Cooks people's brains.
Why did they even need to look into her brain? Like, it didn't really make any
It'd be
sense.
great because he already knew she was the girl.
Right.
Snake rolls up on the brain doctor's house just because it always just knows where Sarah is.
Yep.
Like how
Only
crappy.
when it's convenient to the movie, though.
Oh yes.
Not at the beach or.
No.
Yeah.
Or before they got there. But
Yep.
how crappy is this snake that it always knows exactly where she is and can never catch her? Okay, you're 200 feet long.
Well, and that's what made me laugh when the SWAT team goes
Yeah.
into a cave.
Yeah.
Where it's at. So is that where it's living?
I think that's where it lives.
It just takes a nap and like needs to chill for a minute before it goes back out on an
Maybe.
excursion to
I'll
go
get her
find her.
later.
I bet in the lair there's a monitor in the back. They didn't get all the way down there before the snake came out and
I
tore him
got
up. And that shows on the map, this is where she's at. So if the snake's out in the world, he can find her. But then if she moves from that location, he's dicked.
He's got to go back.
is that
to
a
the
snake
snake.
go
joke?
back
to
home.
yeah.
A monitor? Is that a snake joke?
Oh yeah.
It wasn't
I'll give
intentionally. Sorry. I can't take credit for that.
You take credit and like it.
You get credit for noticing that it should have been.
Snake tries to eat the brain doctor's house, and of course, Ethan and Sarah get away
Again.
in their
Right.
car. In their car.
Down the
Is this
street.
where the guy gets hit and then Craig Robinson's doing the whole shooting at him, or was this before?
No.
I don't know.
I
know.
love that Craig Robinson is like, and I don't even know his name in the movie.
Yeah.
He starts shooting at him,
Yeah.
and he's
Got
like,
3 shots.
yeah, and he hits the shield every time.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
aim lower.
That's right.
You might hit an extremity.
He sees the shield there. He's taking like
Right.
5 seconds in between each shot.
Yep.
But in the next scene, what's funny is Daryl's not with them anymore.
Yes.
Like I think he just wasn't available to shoot that day, and the only way they could cover it was for Sarah to go like, I hope Bruce is okay or whatever his name is. She
Yeah.
goes, yeah, I'm sure he's fine. And then just
That
move
was
on
it.
with
Yep.
the scene. Like they don't even
Don't have
know
to worry about him.
where he is or what's happening with any of that.
Small rollback. That scene you're talking about where he shoots the gun, the best part of that scene was somehow he gets hit by the bad ninja guy gets hit by a second car
Yeah.
and loses the friggin' shield thing.
Yeah.
And Daryl goes over and picks up the hilt of the
Yeah.
sword that still has the sword blade out momentarily. And he goes, yeah, what's up? And he goes and walking up on him and everything like that. And then as soon as he goes to swipe it and swing at him,
Yeah.
the sword goes away because the guy
disappears.
controls whether
Yeah,
it's out or
exactly.
not. That was pretty cool.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
That was a fun moment.
I got you. Nope.
They meet up at the restaurant back with Daryl again. I'm just going to call him Daryl, who has arranged for a helicopter for them.
To meet conveniently on the top of a building.
Yes.
I think this scene made me the most mad.
The restaurant scene?
Yeah, the restaurant.
Why did it make you so angry?
I want to let you get to that.
Yeah, well, so stop me when it gets to that part. then.
Okay.
Because he's like, I got you a helicopter, but
Yeah.
you got to come talk to me back in the kitchen. So Daryl pulls him back into the kitchen of this open restaurant.
Busy restaurant. They're like, the tables are all full. And the kitchen is just empty. The lights are off. No food.
There's not a person working back there.
It's just empty for their convenience to have a conversation.
There's dirty plates.
Yeah.
Right? So something's happening.
Yeah.
I think Daryl
But there's
walked
no
in the
wait
room.
staff.
There's no wait staff.
Daryl walked into the room and he's like,
Get everybody get out of
Everybody
here.
It's a serve yourself.
Well, it looked like
Go cook your
it was
food
just
too.
empty, and the lights were like down, and it was
Yes,
just,
it looked like it was closed.
yeah, no one was there.
It was weird.
So stupid.
He basically takes him back there to hand off a gun.
Yeah.
Right? He's like, look, man, here's a gun. You're going to need it.
You're
Gandalf,
needed for this giant snake.
it's a stick shooter. Gandalf Ninja also shows up and is like, you better do it right this time, basically, is all he shows up to say to him.
Yeah.
Snake shows up at the restaurant.
Weird. Didn't
and
know that was going to
blasts
happen.
through the front of the building, and they run out the side and into a car.
Nope.
And the snake this time doesn't chase them. Instead, the snake just chucks a car down to stop them.
now, here's the problem.
Yeah.
She can just be sacrificed, or Todd has no way to get to work tomorrow.
Right.
It's like these are the sacrifices being made
Yeah.
for this movie.
I
It's
know.
like there's just people's
Just-
lives getting destroyed. It's like
Forget
I
about it.
saved for months to buy that car.
They
Year? I don't know what's reasonable.
none of it is reasonable.
Back down.
That's the problem. They do get stopped. The snake rolls up on them then and is about to eat Ethan and Sarah when the cops save them at the last minute by opening fire. This like squad of cops, Again, all it does is piss the snake off. They get away. Now we get the flying dinosaurs coming in, raining down fire and crap on the entire city. Okay, so it's not just snakes, but pterodactyls that shoot fire also. Ethan and Sarah are running up to the roof of the skyscraper to get to the helicopter, and the snake is just wrapping itself around the entire building.
Yeah, it's
which
just
was pretty
scaling
cool.
the building, right?
I thought that was pretty cool.
Scaling.
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, that's okay.
They gets up to the entire snake. Now, they get up there. There's the helicopter. The helicopter pilot's like, come on, I should have gotten paid way more for this. Run up, right? I'm assuming like the reporter asked him for a
Yeah.
favor, and he's up here doing this.
Sure.
Ends up getting killed.
Yeah.
Okay, because of this.
Worst favor ever.
As the helicopter's about to take off with Ethan and Sarah in it, the snake gets to the top and catches just daintily by the leg of with its
Right, by the landing skids.
by the landing skid, and the helicopter can't get away, but it's up a little ways off the ceiling. So Ethan says to Sarah, the only way we can make it is we have to jump.
Jenna's covering her face.
We have to jump, and otherwise we're going down.
Yeah.
Well, look, you're going down either way. That's at least a 40-foot.
They gave a shot of how
It was
far. Far.
Yes.
It was
Really
like
far.
they were 10 helicopters tall, right?
Right.
You can stand up under the blades of a helicopter without losing your head.
Right.
So these helicopters are, let's call them 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
10 helicopters tall. That's a solid 100 feet. That's going to hurt.
It was a lot. And they dropped down and landed like they were, freaking Carl Lewis or somebody. Like
The next shot, she's just standing up, and
Right.
the guy is on the floor, but he's fine. Like
they're both fine.
she's just standing, like she just landed like that.
She's magic.
She
Got a
floated down.
tattoo that glows.
The helicopter, of course, eats it and is dead. And now, again, another scene where the snake, what is it waiting for? It just stares at him for 10 seconds.
It's waiting for her 20th birthday. It can't eat her. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It cannot eat her. It has to merge with
Gotcha.
somehow. And if it's not time yet, all they're trying to do is, all the bad army is trying to do is position this girl to be available
Yeah,
when needed.
when it's time.
But yeah.
They give enough time for a bunch of Black Hawk helicopters to show up and start lighting up the snake, which actually drops the snake all the way to the ground for a minute.
Yeah.
But this is when
Well, I'm so confused. Isn't it a magical snake? Isn't all
Yeah.
of this magic? So the bullets, is it impervious to our weaponry?
it never seems to be hurt by
Said
bullets.
the scales were harder than the hardest.
Yeah, so I'm
brought
wondering
things
how
on
the
her.
missiles were what brought it down. Like
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would assume it'd still be annoying.
At
Yeah.
this point, guys,
Sure.
and I don't know, I can't describe this step by step because there was just too much going on. So I'm just going to say it like this. And if there's specific things you want to point out, go for it. But at this point, the evil Clone Wars army rolls into the city.
Yes.
And it is 10 minutes of abject chaos
Right.
Sure.
in this film. Indiscernible,
Yes.
total and complete chaos. Soldiers getting blown up, helicopters crashing into pterodactyls, snake, ripping things apart. And it's just 10 minutes of, I want to like cover my eyes and close my ears from it and just go, it's going to be over soon. Like that's how I was feeling.
Yeah.
Right.
It reminded me of the first Avengers movie with Loki and all this stuff coming down from the sky. And
Yeah, but at least that was
but
like
that-
you could tell
no,
what
that
was happening.
Right. And this was just like the Wish.com version.
It's just like if somebody took a toy box full of army men and a toy box full of dinosaurs and they just chucked them at each other as hard as possible and they all
Yeah.
collided in the air, and that's the equivalent of the scene. And
That was my last Friday night.
it was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still haven't picked it all up yet.
More entertaining than this.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So I'm not going to pick it apart, but if you want to see it, see it.
Don't.
Eventually, the government agents pick up the duo. They pick up Ethan and Sarah.
Yes.
And they bring him to a warehouse, and the main guy is like, time to kill you. Okay? Like, sorry, but, I'm not going to be around in 500 years, so I don't care what happens in 500 years.
Right.
We're going to kill you. And he points a gun at Sarah, and he shoots, and Ethan jumps in front and takes the bullet Secret Service style. Then he's like, that was dumb. He's going to shoot her again. And the junior agent then shoots the senior agent to save Ethan and Sarah.
Right.
And then Ethan stands up, dusts off, and goes, I'm okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah. All right.
No limp or anything. He's fine. Yeah.
He took a shot to the chest, is what it looked like to me.
It probably hit the medallion.
but then
Well, he
but
got
that's why
shot.
that.
He was like,
Who
said
was
the
he
fact that
holding him?
got
Oh, he's like, oh.
I don't know, but he said that he got shot and like that he was just fine.
But then he was fine.
Yeah.
That's this whole movie. Yeah. It's like
Talk
literally.
about a
Invincible.
no sell. They're now Ethan and her are driving away in the countryside, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, it's my birthday."
And then just like,
it's so hacky.
and then like what happened? They got attacked
Immediately after she says it's my
after that.
birthday, fire bombs from
Yeah.
the pterodactyls they're in the country somewhere, and the car gets flipped over, and now they're both taken prisoner by the evil army.
Mm-hmm.
Devil birds are back.
Devil birds.
All right, we're almost there, guys.
Oh, I
You know
can't
what I'm
wait.
saying? We're making incredible time.
This is fantastic. This is going to be the shortest episode of BMR ever.
We're making such great time. But I haven't skipped anything that's worth talking
Nope.
about. Not a thing.
Nope.
Maybe the thing with Daryl and the sword. That's the only
but
thing I forgot.
We got back to it.
They wake up in some barren landscape.
Yeah.
There's an altar and there's a castle. Like
did they
freaking
get here?
Skeletor's
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
How did they
It's
get
Snake
here?
Mountain.
And how long
It's
did it
Snake
take?
Mountain.
Yes, it's
It
Snake
didn't
Mountain.
look like it was in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like it was-
No. It didn't look like it was in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
How did they get there? Good question, Clint. Ethan is tied up to a pole while Sarah is being brought up to the altar. And you're right. The whole time I'm just like, where are we? Tell the audience.
And
where are we?
the whole entire army got transported there too.
Everyone's there.
So like, how did that head on?
I don't know. The snake is just. They're like, and now the snake. Like there's like this reveal,
Yeah.
and the door opens in the
Yes.
castle, and the snake comes out. I just picture the snake waiting behind the door, like waiting for his reveal. Not yet.
He was contestant number 3.
Not yet. Right. The snake does come out while she's tied to the altar, and he's like, I'm back. I'm a big giant snake. And this is when
That was his line.
this is when Ethan's medallion goes crazy for the
yes,
first time.
yes.
And just boom, and then I think gets rid of some of the doesn't take out the entire army, but it just
Yeah.
or does it take out the entire? It doesn't matter.
No.
because he fights some more guys, but
Does
he
nothing to him.
it
Does
loosens
nothing.
up his binds, and he's able to get out of that. The reporter then, Ethan, tries to sword fight an ancient warrior, and that goes about as well as you'd think, right? Like, dude's never wielded a sword
Right.
in his life. So the dude, he's like, I got a sword. And evil Deathstroke, or dead, what I say, Deadshot?
Deadshot, but I
like Deathstroke.
I meant Deathstroke. Evil Deathstroke gets him on the ground and stabs him right in the medallion.
Not even stabs. He like pokes him.
I know, but you could have got him anywhere else. 99% of the rest of his body.
Perfectly in the center of the medallion.
He's like, I'm going to kill you. Thrust. Tink. And evil Deathstroke is dead.
And you have enough time to pull back and reassess.
So he held it there.
Yeah.
Like, what in the hell? All right. Then finally, Goody Amugi shows up.
Now
the
we
good
got
one.
some snake on snake action. You know what I'm saying?
Finally. Yeah.
Yes. Where's the good snake
Now it's
been?
Dragon Wars. Now
Yeah.
it's Dragon Wars.
Right. Where it's still it's Snake Wars.
Yeah.
There is no Dragon War in this movie.
Yeah.
Nope.
The whole thing is about two snakes fighting.
Yeah, it's like our perception of dragon is wrong, maybe. I don't know.
Well, halfway through this fight, he turns into it, but only one of them does.
Right.
So then it's a dragon snake war.
So there's not really ever two dragons.
there's never.
Right.
No.
Never once.
Nope.
Good Snake
Should
shows
have just
up.
been called Snake Wars.
Where did Good Snake come from? Who cares?
Nobody knows.
Doesn't matter.
Just show up, eat the magical blue
time.
ball,
The Good
do
Snake.
a little swirly swirl in the sky, off to wherever into the clouds.
Good Snake loses the first initial fight with Bad Snake, and we're like, "Oh, this is something we could have
Awful.
never anticipated." Good Snake dies, and this is when Sarah gets up, and can I also say, Sarah going, "It's the only way," right?
Yeah.
Like
How did she
she's
know
Doctor
that?
Strange from
Yeah.
Avengers. you know?
When did they have the
When did she
conversation?
decide that?
I don't know.
And wouldn't you already know all this from when you were whoever you were from 500 years ago?
You would think
That guy all of a sudden had memories.
he knew everything.
Yeah.
She merges with the snake because she fed her the glowing blue ball, like he said, and
Yeah.
Snake becomes a dragon. The sound design in the scene was so
Terrible.
annoying.
Ugh.
So annoying.
It reminded me of what was that show my brother used to watch when he was a kid? There was the four little like Tinky Winky.
Teletubbies?
Yes, the kid in the sun. It just made me
Sun
laugh.
Baby?
Yeah, Sun Baby.
Yeah.
It made me think of that when
Yeah.
the whole like she shows up
Yeah.
and she becomes the like whatever you want to call her, angelical being.
Yeah.
And she's just in this like cloud blue mist. I'm like, this
bad.
is awful. You spent so much money on the snake to animate it.
Yeah. And the snakes, I think, as far as the CGI of the snakes, the best that they look is in this scene. When in the real world, stuff doesn't nearly work as well.
Sure.
You know. But anyway, after the now that the white one's a dragon, it obviously mops the floor with Bad Snake. And after the win, and Bad Snake dies, Ghost Sarah comes out of the dragon just for a moment to just tell Ethan, "I will love you for all eternity."
She's wearing a ball gown.
she is.
I met you yesterday.
Kissed like
I will love you
twice.
for all of eternity.
Okay, and the guy, Ethan, like
Yeah.
all he did to protest was like he was like, no. That was it. That's all he said.
Yeah. Gandalf even appears to just be like, "Good job," and then he leaves.
Way to be.
Way to be.
I'm out.
And he leaves and walks away, and Ethan's just standing there. Where are they?
Yeah, how
still
does he
don't
get
know.
back?
He doesn't even know.
He's like,
he's just okay with it.
I just
Hey.
wanted it, like him wandering forever.
Hey, Daryl, you got another buddy with a helicopter?
I need a lift.
Seriously.
I need a lift.
Oh my gosh.
That's the end of the movie.
Thank the Lord. Like I said the other day, we were in here. I hadn't watched any of that. So you're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
This movie went from 50% status to 0% status, averaging out at 25.
Yeah.
I'm actually lower than the critics.
Okay, nice. Nice. All right, well, let's see if we can improve this movie, can we? I have my doubts.
Nothing saves this movie.
Let Arnold write a different movie. Do that
come
instead.
on.
Can Arnold save this movie? Could he? Is there a way that it could still be bad, but at least enjoyable if Arnold was in it?
If
You know what I'm saying?
He was the snake.
If he was right,
That's what I'm saying.
but
If he was
still
the
his
good
face.
snake.
But still his face.
But the problem is if he's the good snake, which we would want him to be, obviously, not the
Yeah.
evil snake, because you can't lose. So if he's the good snake, he's not in it enough to make it good. If we
Let's
still
get
have to watch
rid of
the rest.
Let's get rid of Medallion Boy,
Okay.
and then
And make Arnold that guy?
no, make
Ethan?
Arnold Gandalf Ninja, and then
Jack.
He saves the day. He's
He's
the one that
fighting the
guards
snake.
her and fights the snakes.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm having a heart attack. Please
Go get my
go here and tell them it's for Arnie.
Look at my glowing nipples.
That's right.
go get my herbs.
Okay, now he's gone. I've been waiting for you.
It would be so funny too, because
Little boy, come here. No? All right, I'll do it myself. That's how it ends up just being him. He scares the little boy away.
Yeah, the kid's like, I'm out. I can't do this.
Not happening, man.
at one point whatever his face is, he's a girl, right? And he's driving the car. If the
Yeah.
girl just transformed into Arnold Schwarzenegger, that'd be so funny.
That's when it was time to fulfill her destiny.
Yeah.
Hello, Ethan. Hello, cutie pie.
I will love you for the rest of eternity.
That's right. Forever. DJ Campbell says, put him as the main guy, Ethan. At least Arnold could fight the guy with the sword better. Yeah, that's true, right? Arnold whips out the sword.
Yeah.
Let's go. Arnold would have been an awesome guardian, and it'd be funny to know Army was a Korean guy in a past life. Oh, funny to know Arnie was a Korean guy in the past life, and just have a ripper, crazy buff Korean playing the past life guy. Well, I'll just have Arnold be the guy in the flashback too, right? Hello, I'm Korean.
Done.
That's right.
That's his
Because every
costume.
time
He
it's
said
always the
so.
same accent. Yeah.
They put the little the
Subtitle.
the
Fu
closed
Manchu.
caption
Oh, yeah,
at
for
the
sure.
bottom for him,
Still,
so that
gotcha.
you can understand what Arnold's saying.
Got to. Bill Gerson says, replace Steve, who played Ethan, with Arnold. I know there are roles that Arnold would be better fitted for in the movie, but as funny as Steve Bear's terrible performance was, Arnold playing him would make it even funnier, not only because of bad acting. Saying this has made me wonder if Arnold has ever been in a reporter role before. I don't know if Arnold doesn't really scream news reporter.
No,
So he'd have to have a different vocation if he was going to be the main protector guy. Right?
Well-
Like Arnold generally played like construction workers and cops
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
it would be fun to watch him with Craig Robinson.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm sure
would
they'd be a great duo. And Matt Mulholland said, commanding an army of pre-Pal World Blastoids, or better yet, the love interest who shoots a flare from her breast, but wrestles the orb back from the mouth of the dragon and rides it to battle like the Machine in Red Sonja.
Yes.
That would be, Matt, that's right there, buddy.
That's a good one.
Right there, dude. That's it. You nailed it, brother. Whew. All right, it's time to give out an award that we give to the most intense actor in the movie, the one that displayed an intensity of Will Patton. It's the Will Patton Award.
You want a war? I'll give you a war!
I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night! And if they cross the line of scrimmage, I'm gonna take every last one of you out. You make sure they remember forever the night they played the Titans.
That's right. All right, Clint. Who you got for me? Who's your Will Patton nominee?
My Will Patton intensity guy, the bad guy ninja. He was hardcore gangster, like
Yeah.
everything. Even when he was in Jackson's store and Ethan walks in, he's like, I'm looking, or Jack, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm looking for Jack. He's like, there's no Jack here, or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
even that's quiet, whatever. And then he finds out, it's like, you're Dragon Boy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I think he was intense in every scene he was in.
All right, so the main bad guy.
The main bad guy.
All right, with the black robe on.
Yep.
Yeah, look, DJ said Craig Robinson, dude played the best friend partner, was at first, yeah, sure, okay, bud, but still made a database to find Sarah.
I
Then-
loved that every time we saw him in the first two times
Yeah.
we saw him, he was just like on the phone talking to some chick, you know?
Yeah,
On the
right.
phone, like almost every
Right.
scene he was in.
That's what I'm saying, man. If that's not best friend vibes, I don't know what is. That's coming from DJ. Who you got, Kurt?
I went with the bad guy as well. I
Okay.
enjoyed the intensity in the garage when
Yeah.
she in the parking garage when he walks up as the cop and she's like, "Oh my God, thank God you're here," and he's just like, just looks up and you're like, "Nope, you're done." I was hoping she was getting slaughtered there, but
No,
that
sadly,
didn't
that
happen.
didn't happen, no.
Nope.
Bill also went Craig Robinson, so it's 2-2 right now. I feel he was the only guy that took his role seriously, and to me, it was the most believable character in the film. Now, considering what's available, that's not saying much, but
Yeah.
I actually went with the government guy, Chris Mulkey, the guy that got shot, the dude from all those other movies we covered. I thought,
okay.
you know, like he was
Sure.
legitimately trying to play his part well, and I thought he did an intense job. That's just me, though. Rebecca Conkey went with the Amoogie. Jenna, who you got for your Will Patton Award?
I was thinking the Gandalf ninja, but only from the flashback. Like that there was a
The OG
scene where-
one.
Yeah, there's a scene where he came like kicking through the air and him fighting all those guys. He was really intense the whole time, I felt like.
There you go. And Matt Mully said the Asian adult son in the story cutaway in the flashback, the guy who fell in love and screwed the pooch for the plan. In a movie spoiled for choice for a trash can, he came out as the most believable, but not by much, which means we're going to have a tie here between Craig Robinson and the evil, angry, what's a dead Deathstroke guy. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Let's keep going. All right. So time to give out another award. This is to the worst actor in the movie. And this we might have 7-8 different votes on. It's the Steven Seagal trash can full of dirt.
Trash can, oh trash can, it's a trash can full of dirt, yeah.
Love never dies, and neither do they. Love is eternal, and that's a long time.
All right, Clint, you're starting us off, man.
I'm going to go with the original falls in love with protector, the original Ethan, because if he'd have just done his goddamn job, we could have been off of this thing.
I hear you.
Like way faster.
It's his fault there's a movie.
It's his fault this movie exists.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Look, DJ Campbell, he says, Dear Macho Man Randy Savage, then two main leads both can fit. I'm not sure how that sentence works, but I'm just...
You're going with it.
I think he's going with both people. They were both monotone, hardly any emotion. Got to give it to Ethan. Dude had the voiceover monologues that made me want to slip into a coma. Yes, I'm choosing one, blah, blah, blah. Hey, let's just jump at least 20 feet from a helicopter. Bro, that was more than 20 feet, dude.
Yeah.
More than 20 feet. Come on. Kurt, who you got as your nominee?
I agree with DJ.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Ethan?
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, when I first saw him, I thought he was, Wish Ashton Kutcher. I was like, with the hair and everything, and then his digs, he was
bad.
awful.
Yeah, Bill Gerson went also with Steve Bear. That's oof.
Is that his name?
Adult Ethan, yeah.
No.
He goes, look, as bad as child Ethan was, you could excuse it because he's a child, and somehow adult Ethan was even worse. Not one convincing line came out of his mouth. So that's another vote. That's 3 votes for Ethan. And you know what? I think Jason Bear is his name. I don't know. He had Steve Bear down there. Jason Bear and Amanda Brooks. I had both of them down because I was going to make up my mind later. Both of the leads sucked.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were both terrible.
100%.
But I ultimately am going to go with Jason Bear as Ethan myself. Yeah, and also Rebecca Conkey also went with Jason Bear. So it looks like this might be a foregone conclusion. But Jenna, who do you think was the worst?
I was going to say Sarah. I agree with you guys.
Yeah.
Though, but she just was monotone. I think both the leads were just monotone the whole time, and they didn't
Terrible.
really
They were so
give any
bad.
And no
emotion.
selling stuff like that.
It didn't even make it fun to watch or make fun of.
Yeah, it was bad.
You couldn't even snake it till you make it.
Matt Mulholland went Robert Forrester for the trash can. Why? Mr. No-Cell just didn't seem to be able to emote, provided me with no sense of passion from his storytelling to pretty much anything else.
Yep.
That does mean, though, that Jason Bear is going to win the coveted Steven Seagal trash can full of dirt.
Congratulations, JB.
People are lining up for that award.
They really want
literally,
it. Yeah. They want it. Next award we give out is for the unsung hero of the movie. It's the Steve James Award.
Nope.
No, there absolutely is
Every
one.
place you go, there's always someone who thinks he's a badass, right?
One.
Then there are those few who are. Are you some kind of a badass karate boy?
All right, Clint. Who was it?
How many voters we got here?
We got 8.
Playing along? We got 8.
4 playing along, 4 of us.
8 playing along. I'm going to go with, this is going to be a 6 for this one.
Okay.
It's going to be Daryl.
Craig Robinson.
Got to be Craig.
All right.
Robinson.
DJ Campbell went Craig Robinson because I wanted to put Forrester here, but his role didn't really make it better. They didn't use him well. Like he should have had more fight scenes or something. But Bruce made me laugh and felt like he was just like his ride or die dude. Pulling a gun on a guy with a magical shield. Come on, good stuff there.
That's what you do.
Yeah. So, all right, that's 2.
All right, we're getting there.
You're getting there. Who you got?
I'll jump on board with that.
All right.
Thinking about what Clint just said, if I could imagine that this is Daryl
Yeah.
before, like he retires out of being a reporter, and he's
Yes.
like, I'm gonna go work in a paper factory.
Yes.
Because this snake effed me up.
Yes.
That makes this movie much more enjoyable. So I'll give it to him.
All right.
All right, there we go. What are we at? We at 3? Okay. Bill Gerson went with Craig Robinson. Now a runner-up would be the zookeeper. The only other character I was generally interested in. I really wanted this guy in the movie more so that I could know if he was vindicated.
I want to know if he got a freaking an apology from the people trying to put him in a straitjacket.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Come on now. I'm also going Craig Robinson, so that's 5.
That's 5, baby.
I should have gone higher.
But Rebecca Conkey went with the zoo guard, Billy Gardell.
I get it. I get it. We're staying at 5.
We're still at 5 as we head over to Jenna. Who was your unsung hero?
Yeah, mine was the same. I think he just did a really good job. And
Craig Robinson?
He was very convincing in his role and stuff. So yeah.
There's your 6th one.
There's 6.
And
how much did he screw us up here?
Matt Mulholland said the little old grandma who went full send trying to walk through the fence.
I was going to say that.
That's a good one.
But we did go 6.
After watching the other dude do it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No hesitation, just bamp. There's no reason for that scene, but
funny.
it was he appreciated it. And I appreciate it.
No,
too,
that's good.
But that means Craig Robinson's going to win, though. So I think that's well deserved on his part. Good on you, Craig. He got something for being in this stupid movie. That's what we can say. All right, we have to come up. This is going to be hard for this one, but we have to come onto the positivity train here and come up with 3 things that you liked from the movie. Clint?
I did like those small shots. I'm going to loop them together.
Yeah, please.
The old lady and Mike's scene for Mike and Molly.
Yeah.
Daryl's performance in general as Buddy, that is awesome. And I dug old Gandalf Ninja.
Yeah.
His fighting, the scenes from the beginning, the actual fighting, I think that was pretty cool. So those are
was
my
cool.
3 things that I liked, and they all happened in the first 45 minutes.
I think we're going to see some commonality here.
Yeah.
DJ Campbell said, old lady seen Black Panther Shredder phase through the chain link fence. Black Panther Shredder. I like that. That's good. To only try and smash it. That's good. Bruce, obviously he gave him a couple of awards. And the Dawdlers, the dragon turtle with the cannons and the Angelina Jolie capped lips. Yeah, good stuff. So, Kurt, top 3 things?
I'm going to also go with the old lady. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Craig Robinson as much as he wasn't in the movie a ton, but what he did is you got to see what he's good at. And number 1, I really like the first 20 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
I love the flashback. I love the whole scene. Give me that movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give me that an hour and a half of just samurais fighting knights with dinosaurs.
Let's do it.
And dragons and snakes.
Did you just pitch the movie and you accepted and we're doing this now?
Yeah, sure. Let's do
This
it.
is a project?
That would be
Find us
great.
$35 million.
Give me that for
we'll do it.
$32 million.
Bill Gerson said Craig Robinson, Steve Bear. He said maybe odd that he'd be one of my favorite things, but that's just because it's just endless laughter from his horrible performance. And the soundtrack, number 3. I say this at the risk of you taking my least favorite track in the movie and adding it to your soundboard, just like you did with Black Moon Rising. I bet you're going to play that track now, aren't you?
Yep.
No.
We're going to play it. We're going to play it right after the French national anthem.
I'm not. All right. But thanks, Bill. I appreciate that, man. Rebecca went with the Zoo Guard, the action sequences, which were better than the non-action sequences, and the transformed Moogie at the end. My favorite 3 things, I'm not going to belabor because everyone's already said them. Old lady bumping into the thing, Craig Robinson, and old Gandalf Ninja. I mean, those were my 3 things. What you got?
I was gonna say the old lady, and then also I agree with you. I think when the flashback from 500 years ago, like if they just made the movie that, like it would have been so good. I really liked that part. And then I also really liked the scene, oddly enough, with the zookeeper in the straitjacket. I thought it was really funny, and that whole
it was
forth and stuff. So
yeah, when they dropped that elephant next to him, his reaction's great.
Yeah, he didn't know so like everyone else in the entire movie.
Yeah.
He freaked out.
Matt Mulholland said them discovering the serpent snake's weakness of running in a straight line. Yes, sir.
That's a good one.
Craig Robinson, the Temu fusion of Cobra Commander and a Cylon from the original Battlestar Galactica.
Cobra Commander.
That made up the armor of the head of the bad guy. Yeah,
Yes.
that was, out of all the ways we've described it, that was the best one, I think. Nice job, Matt.
I once was a man.
All right, time, guys, to finally render our verdict. We have to give our thoughts. As we sit here now, only about an hour and 10 minutes into this episode. Clint, people are either going to be furious that our episode is only this long, or they'll be thrilled. I don't know. but I had to get through this one quick, guys.
This is a bad movie.
Yeah.
This is a bad movie. It's especially a bad movie because originally I'm like, this is going to be a bad movie that rules. And then I went out into the world and I told people that I think that this is how this is going to go. And then I watched the rest of it and it was so much of a letdown from the beginning. Like the beginning isn't good movie.
No.
The beginning is bad movie that rules for sure. And then it goes so hard down. Like there's no true payoff for any of it.
I agree.
Bad movie.
DJ Campbell said, bad movie, full stop. Hard movie to watch. The scene in ancient Korea was good. Thought it was fine, but the CGI was rough most of the movie. The two main leads didn't do anything for him. The random beach kiss had me like, what the heck is going on? I understand they had a love in the past life, but nothing really seemed to build up to that. They seem more like cousins at best. This was tough, and I will not be letting Maria know this movie exists. That's his daughter that sometimes watches this stuff with him. Because I know if she likes it, she'll make me watch it again, and I'm not letting that happen. So, fair enough, DJ.
Yeah,
Kurt?
nice. This movie sucks. I hate this movie. I hate this movie so bad that I tried to do like a poo review.
Yeah.
Like the Mayor and the Goose do. And all I could come up with is literally a dog came and crapped in my mouth. And I have this horrible taste in my mouth throughout this movie.
Yeah.
And there's no redeeming quality about it other than the three things we named earlier. And I'm going on BMR history right now, and I'm going back, and I hated this movie so much that I'm going to give Boyfriend School a good movie review. And I'm changing it back to good movie because this movie is number one on my list. I hate this movie.
It's just, yes. Oh, my gosh.
Dude.
Bro.
This guy likes garbage pail kids.
Bill Gerson said, is this a good movie? No, not in the slightest. But I was entertained by it. You bet I was. The plot was convoluted, and I still do not totally understand it, which should not be the case when they waste 10 minutes of the movie's 90 minutes to explain why. But it was but that was with watching it twice. He said, okay, sorry there, Bill. But in spite of that, there were so many unintentionally hilarious scenes throughout the movie that I enjoyed it immensely. So for me, it's a bad movie that rules. I will for sure watch this one again. I bet you thought I was going to give us another good movie rules on this one. I was worried for a second there, Bill. And I appreciate that even though you said rules, I think you said rules because of how crappy it is. And so I can't really argue with that because I've done that a few times. So, yeah. Rebecca said, this movie's so bad I can't even make fun of it. So that was her entire review there from Rebecca.
Best review.
As we send it over to Jenna.
Yeah, no, it's a bad movie. There's just like nothing that was keeping me like locked in, and it was just like a pain to watch. I had no fun.
So boring.
So boring.
Terrible.
Yeah.
I'm mad that we had to watch this. Matt Mulholland goes overall with the hacknut. I never know how to say this word. Overall, with these crap performances, some of the worst medical professionals in the world. I don't think they know what quarantine means. At times, garish special effects and a 35-minute relationship that blossoms into full-blown love. It's also a movie that's fine to have on in the background while you get some work done and don't really have to pay attention to. While not terrible, it's not great. So it's a bad movie that rules because I'd watch it again with friends just to tear it to pieces. From Matt Mulholland. Mm-hmm. This movie is the biggest steaming pile of absolute dog water trash that I've ever seen in my entire life. It's worse than Freddy Got Fingered, a movie that I hate and they'll never do on this show. So I'm mad that we had to do this on this show. This is dried dookie up stuck in the middle of the back of your mouth that's like kind of creeping into your nose.
Whoa.
That somebody, like while you were asleep, shot in there because you would never knowingly ingest a movie or crap like that on your own. Like somebody forced you to do it, like our stupid BMR supercomputer. And now I've got dried crap crusted into my mouth that no mouthwash, no toothbrush, nothing will get the taste of this movie out of my mouth. It is the worst pile of cinematic garbage. The people that made it should be arrested and at worst forced to pay restitution and damages to anybody that paid money to have to sit and see this movie. The fact that there's a streaming service that has this on its catalog shows that that company, Prime Video, doesn't care about its people because it is something that they are putting out there that could potentially hurt people. This This movie is a travesty against humanity and throw everybody that had anything to do with it, other than the actors who were just getting a paycheck, straight into the trash.
I watched
That's
it
all I
on
have to say.
Tubi, and it had commercials, and I decided that I will never buy a Coach anything because they were a commercial for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is it better than rubber?
Yes. Oh, it's right there.
Nothing beats rubber.
It's right there with rubber.
Oh,
all right.
That's good.
With that, guys, let's talk about next week. Because next week is our 150th episode. Episode 150. A big milestone.
Is this what you promised the
BMR.
people?
And I feel like this is not going to be an hour and 15-minute episode like this one was. But rather, it's going to be one full of debate and argument, because I know I feel a very certain way about this movie, and I know Bob and you, Kurt, who will also be here for this episode, and Ryan Farrell also feel a certain way about this movie. We are talking about 2015's Batman versus Superman.
I can't wait.
BVS. And, Jesse Eisenberg and his jar full of pee will be there, and everybody's going to be jumping in. Henry Cavill and Ben Affleck and all those guys. We'll be covering, oh gosh.
I've never seen it. Is it good?
No. But here's the thing. I think Kurt likes this movie.
I do like this movie.
And I know my brother's a defender of the movie. I hate the movie. I don't know where Farrell is on it. So it could be a 3-on-1 situation. Could be a 2v2. We'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
We don't know.
No, it'll be fun.
But we're going to talk about Batman versus Superman. And so join us next week for that. And so, Jenna, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm sorry that you had to watch Dragon Wars. Blame the supercomputer.
Okay.
Sorry for the short episode today, guys, but there is no way in hell I was going any longer on Dragon Wars. Thank you, Clint, for being here in the midst of a rebuild. And thank you, Kurt, for coming in and watching this movie that was worse than Boyfriend School.
You are not welcome.
All right. On that, we will catch you guys on the next one.
At least it was 90 minutes.
It's over.
So many other snake movies we could watch. Anaconda.
Yeah.
Snakes on a Plane.
Lots of good snake movies.
Lots of great snake movies.
This isn't even a dragon movie. It was a snake movie.
It was a snake
Anaconda
movie.
happened?
No, well, it was up for vote, but it didn't get voted
Oh, it
in.
didn't get voted. Gotcha.
Yeah, something else got voted in. I don't know if that was when we did Runaway. I think maybe Runaway beat it. So that's all right. No more Dragon Wars. And I might have to do some recalibrating on the BMR supercomputer.
Yeah, fire it.
We'll see. Buy a new one.
We're going to shoot another one in the alley here.
That's right. Office Space style after Dragon Wars.
I'll put my suit back on.